So, like, here's a problem that I face very regularly, in the product management side of things. So, like, I have like a vested interest in knowing your answer, right? So, um, UI UX design, product design is more on the creative side, right? There's like a whole creative
Mm.
flow, creative aspect to it.
Right.
But an employee doesn't have that time, right? No one has like go in like a trance, have some mushrooms, and just like go crazy. You don't have that level of luxury. You don't have that like there are constraints that we have to put, like
Mm.
management has to put uh, on to designers, on to other creative fields. Like, how do you
Right.
manage that? How do you manage and get the best out of a designer or yourself, right? How do you get the best out of your creativity while having constraints, and what are those constraints?
So, I think I'll answer this question in two phases. One is the expectations, and the second would be how do you deal with the team.
Hmm.
So one is expectation is where you set the right expectation from your stakeholders, that okay, this is what we are building and this is the time that it is going to take, and you set the right expectations on day one itself, so that you know that you're not mm, uh, uh, wasting any time from their end versus you're not wasting time from your end as well. So you build that sort of trust in that first 4 or 5 outcomes that you're trying to give them, right? Now here you know that the expectations is set very right, that okay, this guy can give me the output on the right time and he's also giving the right output. So you have that sort of rapport going with them. But here what's happening in the background with the existing employees or your team members, for example, let's say if I have an experience of managing teams which are like 6 to 7 designers back in my companies that I worked for. So you have to manage the designers and you have to understand that they are not your colleagues, but they are part of what you are, right? So what you do is, okay, this guy is really good with UI design, so you kind of mentor that particular person, saying that okay, this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing, okay, I think you should build this, you should build this. You give them the feedback, okay, you are the person who is always going to work on the UI. The other person, let's say if it's a graphic person, I'll give them the guidance saying that okay, this is the graphic that you have to build, this is the vector or illustration that you have to build, this is the time frame, and these are the constraints. Now when I say constraints, the constraints can come in the form of time, the constraints can come in the form of colors, the constraints can come in the form of the tonality of the brand. It can be anything, but they have to work with those constraints, right? So now what you do in this scenario, even for a UI guy and also for a graphic guy, what do? You help them understand what others are also doing with that same constraint. You
Hmm.
go do that referencing for them. You kind of help them. You kind of explain that if they are doing this way, I mean, there is something that even we can do with just these set of constraints as well. So you kind of motivate them to do and take them in that direction. I mean,
Right.
that's what I believe in. That's what I believe in. Rather than giving them the brief and they coming up with their own ideas, yes, you can do that. But that might just waste time if they come up with something really random. So I would
Right.
love to debrief them and
Hmm.
kind of help them understand what the output is going to be.
Right. So you're talking about
So
the
I think that's,
referencing? Are you
I'm
like
talking about more
referring?
of referencing of other websites or other
Right.
applications and all. But again, not copying them for sure, not aping exact experience or something, but looking at them and getting just inspired by what they have built, right?
Hmm.
Like recently, I'll give an example of Tailwind CSS.
Yep.
They're doing some amazing thing and amazing work that they're doing. Even Lemon Squeezy,
Right.
they're doing some amazing thing when it comes to building the exact set of button size, exact set of icon sets, and some crazy stuff. These 2 3 people who are doing, Orman Clark, Daryl Grin, and I think James, someone from
Hmm.
Twitter. I've been following them since quite some time.
Yep.
So again, I always give that as a reference to some of my designers, saying that look at that, or look at how they have took this opportunity with these set of constraints and built out nothing like something out of nothing.
Right.
I mean, at least we have the resources, at least we have the brief, and we know what your powers are.
Yeah.
Let's combine this thing and do something and build something.
Interesting.
Right. So
Makes sense.
maybe this is one of the approach that I take. I think there are a lot of other teams who do some amazing work with the whole collaboration bit, but this is my approach that I take, where I kind of micromanage even their work,
Right.
even my designers' work. Like I have to micromanage them, give them the direction that they have to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Makes sense.
it's different, yeah, for different set of designers that way.